Your favourite line that your character ever said in any of the films that you starred in? I thought we'd start at this end with the wonderful Nick Moran.
Hello, beautiful.
That was it. That's the line that I signed. I did that when I get autographs. I creeped quite a lot of people out with that, and I was very, very pleased it stayed in the film. So, yes, that's mine.
So creepy.
Well, for me, it was probably one of the first lines that I uttered in the whole series of films, way back in #1, as Professor Flitwick, Wingardium Leviosa. I think for me would be the one, and it's the one everyone wants me to do when I meet them. So yeah, I often hold little charms classes for little groups of fans. So we can do one now if you want. Do you want to do a charms class? You all have your wands with you? Yeah, good. We'll leave it there then.
I don't have many lines, but one of them is. But I like it when she says, "Don't call me Nymphadora," and gets really angry at Mad Eye Moody. And my hair changing colour.
I don't remember hardly anything I ever said in the whole movie. I'd say there's just one word that sums up my feelings of playing the character and trying to make a wand feel like an AK-47 for the whole series of films, which is ridiculous. And my other favourite line is boggart.
Well, I didn't have any lines either, but I do remember thinking, well, this shouldn't be too difficult.
I don't know, I think all Luna's lines are sort of winners. She's always said something funny. But I like "You're just as sane as I am," because it just gives no comfort at all to whoever she says it to.
My favourite line is actually one of Daniel's, because my first day's work, one of my first shots, was walking away from Dumbledore's desk, and I said to Chris Columbus, "Oh, I'd really love an exit line." And he said, "Well, let's go again, we'll shoot something and just make something up." And we didn't tell Daniel, and who was only, waist high, and I turned round to him, unexpectedly to him, and I said, "Let us hope Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day." And he looked up at me and he puffed his chest out and he said, "Don't worry, I will be." Which is pretty impressive for a 12-year-old, and he's stayed that impressive ever since.
I think my favourite line that I got to say, which I haven't seen yet, so I hope it's still in,
might be cut,
is the moment that she stands up in the Forbidden Forest and says, "Dead."
Yeah, we've all been blessed with some great lines, definitely. I thoroughly enjoyed Draco's line when he's being carried away after being attacked by Buckbeak. My father will hear about this. That's one of my, it's one of my favourites for sure.
Producers don't have lines.
Well, the only line that I can remember is, "I can touch you now." That's my favourite line.
You made it in 1986, actually.
My favourite line is, "I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled." And I remember just getting so much joy out of saying that I think I would have been 11 or 12, and it just seemed like the wittiest, cleverest line, and yeah, it was great.
Actually, when you said that, I still remembered the line that I say after that. She needs to sort out her priorities. So, yeah. That just really popped into my head. Yeah, it's hard to think of it. I don't know, it's all kind of a blur. I remember saying, I say bloody a lot. No, I always got a thrill from saying bloody because it was kind of like a rude word. So, yeah.
There's a very good line you say just after Draco blasts Emma in the last film, and you shout as you're chasing Draco, "That's my girlfriend, you numpties."
Yeah.
Which is really sweet.
Oh, I think my favourite one has got to be, "Not my daughter, you bitch." So incongruous. I couldn't believe Mrs. Weasley said it when I read it. I couldn't believe it, so it's fabulous to say.
I guess my favourite was in Diagon Alley in the first one, saying, "You're Harry Potter. You're the one who got away from you know who." My second favourite was in a Bond movie where he stuck a 45 to my head, and I said, "Can't you just say hello like anybody else?"
Well, I hardly ever knew my lines in the film anyway. So but the ones I did remember. But the one you're going to see tomorrow, my favourite line is when I appear as a ghost on the station platform, and I say, "Harry," and I felt like crying. That's my favourite line.
How do I follow that? I think it was just a line that really, for 10 years, really summed up Neville, and it was in number 2, and it was just when he's hanging from the chandelier and he says, "Why is it always me?"
I probably have to choose my first ever line that actually wasn't in the script and only happened on the platform 9 3/4 with "Good luck to Harry." That was the beginning, and I ended on the same set the end of the journey, so it was a complete cycle.
I've actually got 2. The first one would be in the first movie when I sounded like I'd just swallowed a load of helium and said, "Honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother." So I remember being really excited, because if I actually said that to my mum, I'd probably be ducking for a smack. So, and my second one would be "Mischief Managed," which I think sums up the characters pretty well.
I think my favourite line would be in Deathly Hallows Part 1 when Harry and Ginny are just kissing, and George creeps right behind them and just goes, "Morning." It's probably the most uncomfortable moment, I think, for Harry to go through.
Nat says she had no lines, and I've got fewer lines than Nat, so I don't know where that puts me. I had to say "Mad Eye's dead," and that was my dad, so that was good fun.